This is the only video you will ever need to watch to manifest or create the reality that you want to experience. So, first off, understand that your current reality, your current life, whatever it looks like, you've created it. You've manifested it, right? We are constantly creating with our thoughts, our energy, our beliefs, whether we're aware of it or not. Our beliefs act as the filters through which we experience reality. I've heard some people say your beliefs create your reality, but I think it's actually your beliefs are the filter through which you experience reality. So your beliefs about yourself will always be reflected back to you because reality is a perfect mirror, right? Reality is a perfect mirror. Everything in the universe is in balance. So your beliefs about yourself will always be reflected back to you. So if you believe that if you see yourself as a person who struggles to make friends, for example, or struggles to make money or whatever, then that will be your reality. Because as the book Psycho-Cybernetics talks about, we always act in alignment with our own self-image. And if we step out of alignment with our self-image, then we'll experience cognitive dissonance. It makes us feel uncomfortable, right? So any true behavior change comes with altering our self-image, the way that we see ourselves. The Kybalion states, as above, so below, as within, so without. I believe this actually comes from the Emerald Tablets. But ultimately, the idea there is that reality is this mirror, and it's constantly reflecting our internal state. Our internal world is constantly being reflected back to us, right? So there's this constant interplay. And if you're looking in the mirror, I heard this quote, you don't smile before your reflection does. Or I'm sorry, your reflection doesn't smile before you do, right? So when you change your inner world, your inner reality, the way that you perceive yourself, your beliefs about yourself, the external world will reflect that back to you. And you can ultimately use these principles to create whatever life you want to experience. So if you're trying to create more money or financial abundance in your life, for example, it might be useful to take inventory. What are your current beliefs about money? Do you believe that money is hard to acquire? Because if you do, then money will be hard to acquire. If you are trying to make more friends, if you see yourself as a loner, and you believe, maybe you have a belief that people don't like you when you express yourself or something, then that will be your experience, right? Because ultimately, even if we might even have beliefs that we're unconscious of. You don't even have to be aware that you have these beliefs, but if you have these beliefs, even if you're unaware of them, they will still dictate your experience of reality, right? So with our beliefs, if we change our beliefs, we're altering the way that we interact with reality. So think about it this way. Your personality is essentially a conglomeration of the patterns that you have conditioned and wired into yourself, right? So over time, throughout your life, you've adopted certain beliefs, you've adopted certain things, right? That have been wired into your circuitry or conditioned, right? And then once you do that, it starts operating in the background like a computer software program that's just operating on autopilot, and you're probably not even aware that it's happening. So what it really takes is stepping into the unknown, right? Because if you keep acting in the same way, you'll keep getting the same results in life, right? So if you want to make any sort of change in your life, you need to change something internally. Because it's a reflection, right? It's a reflection of your internal state, is what your external reality is. So ultimately, some of these patterns we might need to look at and be like, okay, I have this thing, this pattern, essentially, that's not serving me, or this way of being that's not serving me, and I want to experience reality this way. We need to break these patterns and step into the unknown. You have to step into the unknown in order to create something new. You can't create something new from the known world. You have to step into the unknown. And that's where you can actually wire in new, essentially you can wire in new patterns. And when you do this, your reality, your whole experience of reality will transform. And then you'll realize that you actually are the creator of your reality. And you've always been in the driver's seat your whole life, whether you realize it or not. Everybody is always creating. And if you want to see what your current patterns are, take a look at your life, because your life is a reflection of that. And so if your life is looking great, then hey, maybe you don't need to change anything. Maybe you are on a good path. But generally, if you're here talking, listening to me talk about manifestation, then generally you're at point A and you want to get to B. You're going to need to change some of these things, because from the current way that you're operating in the world is not going to get you different results. You have to step into the unknown and create something new. Create this new experience of reality. And ultimately, it only takes a few repetitions. It only takes a few reps to start wiring this in. And then you just keep doing that and doing that. And eventually it will become your default. It'll be what you default back into, essentially. And when it becomes your default, then that's how you know you've actually changed. You've transformed. And all it does is take a few repetitions. You don't have to be the person you were 5 minutes ago or an hour ago. You are not that person. You are whoever you want to be right now. Step into the unknown, and you have the power to create whatever life you want to experience. We are all way more powerful than we realize. And I believe our whole purpose on this earth is to practice creating. It's to practice co-creation, essentially. Right? Our society is a reflection of our collective belief systems, essentially. Right? It's a reflection of our society is a reflection of our collective consciousness. Right? Once we understand these principles, we can create whatever we want. So anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you next time.